For Matt Van Komen, the 7-footer Johan Grunlo in the center. Lewis was the leading scorer amongst the starters the other night against Hampton at 13. Here's Dallin Hall weaving into the lane for two. This is Wyatt Fricks, who has had just a tremendous start this season, coming off a career high very nicely for UVA so far this season, keeping the turnover numbers low as he gets the kind bounce.
Tribute to those points. We start talking about three-pointers and that point production.
Down low, Fricks. Oh, there's that big. DeRitter, pullback J. Yes, sir. Noah Ochuti coming over from Canada, from Western University in London, Ontario. And down low, another transfer.
Good defense by Marshall on that end of the floor.
Oh, there's a big target down low. Van Komen, huge of college basketball. Started his career way back in 2019 with Utah. DeRitter has a look. Pick had he decided to go to the NBA, but instead going to college. Offensive rebound here. Malik Thomas getting physical down.
It's going to be a long time before they can get their play established on the offensive end. Before then, they're deep into their shot clock.
Long pass. Cavaliers using that depth. Sha'Carri White is in for the Who's now, wearing the number 6. Thomas, no hesitation. Not going to force bad ones.
Yeah, you don't want just any look. You want the right look. Speaking of.
Hollenbeck. Hit over 100 threes last season. Ugana Onyenso in the game, doing the work down low. Mallory cleans up the mess. Chance streaking ahead in transition. Open shooter, Thomas. Kentucky and Kansas State. He was a little bit shy to shoot the ball, but the coaching staff here giving him all the confidence in the world. Elijah Gertrude in the game. Speaking of height, Matt Van Komen is back in the game. At the first 4 points for the Thundering Herd. Thomas is feeling it.
Shot doesn't go, you got Onyenso.
Cavaliers clearly trying to get the ball into number 1's hands. Thomas, bank shot. Three ball goes up from Wilson Dubinsky. Season from beyond the arc. Timer at 10, hesitation move. Sha'Carri White.
I like how by catching a breather.
On Eastern and ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app. Over number 5 for the Marshall Thundering Herd. White, ISO, step back in the groove.
How about that?
As they always have been over the first now 4 games. Ochuti, jumper.
And they're going to have to tie a couple more.
Mallory switches on to Dubinsky here. Timer at 5. Dubinsky waits, and a lot of clutter inside. Wilson Dubinsky at the line, drawing the foul prior to the break.
Players that can put the ball in the bucket, essentially, and that's what you want to do.
Mallory uncorks from way downtown. DeRitter snatches the board and scores.
Got to get something going on the offensive end.
They just penetrated the three-point arc. Van Komen right there, waits first 14 from the field.
There's a big wide open middle in that zone.
And that's where Ochuti playing the point guard spot, first time in his career. Steal, DeRitter goes up and scores.
He wants the foul. They're still in the zone, trying to move around there and just kind of clog it up a little bit, but...
High-low, it works, DeRitter to Grunlo. Sizable at 17. Grunlo pointing to the rim. Instead, it goes for DeRitter. He's so calm in that spot.
Yeah, there's...
A delay of game warning, by the way, was handed out to Malik Thomas. Spear, nice movement here. And Clark had 9 against VMI. On Tuesday, today. Now Grunlo, 1v1 here. Waiting, spinning, adjusting. Oh, he's a dancer down low. Landon Joseph is in the game, number 6, freshman from Fort Lauderdale. Gets around DeRitter, Test called for the foul.
You can come up with a foul on that.
A couple of games ago, Joseph had 11 in the win over Toledo. That was a strong win for the Thundering Herd against a Rockets team that are, but he's been very pleased.
And he has good reason to be. I mean, his team has showed up and showed out.
Grunlo
They're going to have to get the ball up the court quicker, more carefully, but they're going to have to get the ball up the court quicker and get into their set so they can find it. Got to create spacing.
So Grunlow on a post ISO here against Van Komen, and Grunlow swiftly moves his restart now for the Hurt.
So it's going to be an on-ball screen, right? Potentially a drive and kick or the fade.
Wow, what a Thomas returning here, 13 points, now 5 for 6 from the floor.
We started off hot.
Marshall's got a good center in Van Komen. Can you do that against them? And Brian said, yeah.
He's seen what their capabilities are. He knows exactly what he's got.
Lewis makes a pair. Not much yet for Fricks, who comes off a 34-point game against Elon. Shot clock at 7. That is another tough contested J that does.
That's the one he wanted, but it's a little hard when you've been cold and haven't had a whole lot of touches.
Grunlow running the floor, beating Van Komen, and gets the deuce.
Now he's at the line.
16 points against the Pirates back on Tuesday night. Virginia winning that game. Dallin Hall to really kind of instruct him a little bit. It's been a nice blend for the catch. Tapping the pass over to Harding. Thundering Herd. Good ball movement here. Slay didn't look it in.
They had some.
Jackson said, look, #1 on our list, the physicality that the Cavaliers provide.
Yeah, and that's something that basically down there on the block.
Steal off the press. Lewis a kick. Hall is wide open.
Great series. It's really easy to see teams getting in situations where they turn the ball over.
53 and 40.
Yeah, exactly.
Joseph gliding towards the cup, gets the.
And already the defense for Virginia has got him down to 16 seconds in the shot clock.
Ochudy hanging, and gains for UVA. White rejects, White elevates. Another O-board and
the ball up the floor pretty quickly and get a really quick trigger pull on the other end, but that just hasn't been happening because the Virginia defense has been picking up in just seconds.
Ochudy gets White to pretty much jump over him, and he gets the bucket.
This Marshall team can get a 3 out of that. They need quick touches.
Slay, 3, yes! Bryce Slay with the tray. Under a minute and a half to go now in the first half. Cavaliers shooting at 60%. And more free throws for UVA. The players with multiple fouls so far in the game.
Yeah, make bad things happen there, and in doing so, you often get yourself in foul trouble.
High screen here from Van Komen. Joseph a bounce. Van Komen waits, and Onyenso gets a piece. He said, but that's the reality.
It's good to be self-aware.
Onyenso waits. Onyenso with 2. 46% from the floor, but the 12 turnovers have really cost the Thundering Herd. Step back 3. Joseph. Nylon. 5 seconds to play first half. White pump fake. Pull back. Trey. Yes! Oh, White is on.
Game ready to play.
Herd as well in the opening 20 minutes. Spear back in with 3. Spear veering and caps one off with a bucket.
And Virginia, for their part, able to get a lot of points in the paint.
Yep. This is a basket.
Paint touch. You get something inside to try to open up that ball reversal and get an open shot. On-ball screens are helpful.
Quiet first half for Frick. At least 9 shots ever.
And it's obviously he's capable. You have to be able to be efficient and get the ball down, and it's just been hard to do for any of the players really on the Marshall team.
Tight roping that far sideline, tries to get a step here on Grunlow and gets whacked here from Thomas. And if it's almost
the smartest of ways.
Well, the luxury of this big lead for Ryan Odom, he can leave a guy.
You've got to lead like this. The focus for both teams shifts, right?
Grunlow, fingertips on that.
Out of the game when he's got as many fouls.
Grunlow adjusting and sees the smacks it to himself. Tess going to work, swooping across the lane. No, Hall put back, and the PG's going to the. Last year made the Sweet 16 with the Cougars. ESPN app.
Fricks was waiting for that one.
Spear, a fadeaway from the baseline.
Looks from out there. They've been having to settle for the 2-pointers.
Sam Lewis, quite okay with an open 3.
Kind of match that in some way. You're going to have to get into chip into that lead.
DeRitter cleaning up his own match. Jay, so that was a really good sign.
Yeah, always a good sign when they can get a little bit of up and back just on their own. Showed them.
Part of a team last year with UC Irvine that won a program record 30. Joseph wheels around the screen. Pullback jumper. Front iron.
His shots to fall. He's gotten not a whole lot of them in this game, but they just haven't been able to go down either.
Johan Grun. Over the shoulder shot. Van Komen sprinkles it down. 8 points and 8 rebounds for Van Komen. Grunlow has another look.
Can't afford to drop that.
Ugana Onyenso back in, gobbles up a rebound. Onyenso expecting the pass closer to the rim. And Ochudi is fouled.
Hard coaching for the guards. Nice.
Coach Jackson said, I coach my guards really, really hard. Hall slicing in. Coming up at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN game, Chandler Morris, quarterback for UVA. I know a lot of Cavaliers fans wondering, will he play? He is.
Go for your noon on a Saturday is actually kind of early for college.
Wait. You're telling me that these kids weren't?
Their three-point shooting. I mean, they do have the ability to do that. They do have some versatility with the
from the floor. 1 for 2 at the line. Makes on the first of the 1-and-1.
Slay look like.
And you're cool with that, right? Slay standing his ground there, essentially. It means the Knights.
Tank. Yeah, I mean, and for very good reason.
12 here for DeRitter. Stepping through the lane with the long strides. Heads up there in the first.
Yeah, Coach Odom said he likes that he plays with passion.
Wilson Dubinsky at the line here. Both teams in the 1-and-1. In the season against UMass and Toledo.
Do get in foul trouble because they're just trying to stop the bleed, trying to get something going.
Lifted over the head of Onyenso on the first end of the 1-and-1. Van Komen hits on the first.
I can at least get yourself to a reasonable position, you know.
Van Komen runs the floor. Thought of Sacha Baron Cohen as Borat. Just a couple different comparisons for you. It is a lot to, manicure. I don't want to do that.
You got to keep up with it.
Joseph in a funnel here. Fricks pulls up for 3 in the Sun Belt Conference this year. Redshirted last year with VCU. Came over from France. Similar theme here. DeRitter can't score. Offensive rebound, Grunlow. We have a push down low. And it goes against Marshall.
The mental discipline, of your team, being able to stay dialed in, locked in, even when you're at home. They're going to notice those types of things.
Brandon, a reminder, the Cavaliers were back. Running the point for this team. Van Komen tries to carve out some space. The reverse champ for the 7-4.
Happen at any moment. It's 7-4. You're waiting for one of those.
DeRitter tries to get a field goal. He's got it.
Sure, but you've got Chance Mallory picking up full court.
Spear through traffic. No. Hall. Grunlow. One-hand snare. Sees 2. Back to DeRitter. Late whistle, but Virginia now 20 good shooters via the portal and via freshman recruiting. Ochudi, another contest.
Offense for the Cavs. Get the nice swing skip pass.
DeRitter! If those projections become reality once we get to conference play. Virginia starts ACC play on New Year's Eve. Ochudi sees Grunlow and Johan. Ochudi's first doesn't go here for Marshall.
Yeah, the reserves have 9, and I feel like that's because Coach Odom is kind of part of the personality of the team.
Open 3 for Hall. He cashes in and makes this a 93. Point guard looks up, wants to challenge Van Komen. Big size disparity there. So it is down low as well. Against Queens, the Royals coming off a 20-win season. Joseph on the pirouettes.
Whatever he can get to his shots, and he knocks them down pretty decisively.
Hall has been pure from beyond the arc now.
BYU.
Shot clock inside of 5 here. Ochudi over the Grunlow contest. 2.5 to play. Joseph lines up the feet and nails it. Landon Joseph, incredible. Offensive rebound here for Grunlow, and the reset for DeRitter. 4-5 pass. Grunlow held up. Did it.
Yeah, your steadies.
But they want DeRitter to be assertive.
They're triple digits. They are able to climb the summit and get over the mark.
And then Grunlow. Desmond Roberts is his replacement, wearing the number 13. Carter Lang is also in. Mallory floats to the rim. Gertrude on the elevator.
I'm seeing them on the floor, you know, and they just are a very smart team as far as the way they move, where they position themselves. Deep, you know, point to prove, right? They don't have to do it only the one way, and that's what's going to make this team so dangerous even in the ACC, right? Because they don't have to.
Fans here inside of John Paul Jones Arena on their feet as the Cavaliers